Get ready to strap in. It's going to be a heck of a ride. It's like drinking from a fire hose. Never a dull moment, but yes, you'll hear the stories you won't hear anywhere else, and we appreciate you being here with us for them today. I'm Justin Barclay. And this is another MAHA Missy update and a big news, big story. President Trump last couple of weeks making massive moves. In fact, the last year, they've been incredible. Lots of folks in the MAHA movement very encouraged. As you know, MAHA doesn't happen in some faraway place, though. Washington, D.C. or Lansing. It happens right here at home.
That's right.
I'm taking it very seriously. In fact, I've got some big personal news. We'll tell you about that coming up here in just a little bit, Missy. I've started my new phase, and man, I'm feeling better than ever. I don't know if it's evident, but I do. I mean, you know, my wife said, yes, it's glowing. She said, gosh, I can really tell your face is thinning out. I said, that's kind of what happens because, we went through Christmas. I packed on a couple pounds. I had a couple of cookies.
Yeah, it's okay.
I may have had a little celebration for the birth of Christ, and maybe celebrated too much.
It was a big birthday party this year. Let's just say it.
You hear me justifying this? But that's what happened. I may have done a little bit too much, and I'm going to pay for it. But at the end of the day, it's easy to get back on track. And I mean, you tell, I really feel better. Like Lizzie looked at me the other day, she goes, oh man, I can really see it in your faces. Yeah. Because it just comes up. It's like all that junk, all the toxins, all the things that your body's holding on to that you don't need anyway. And the good thing is it's easier to take it off because I had a lot of the habits already kind of like in place. So anyway, I feel so much better, and I'm so glad. I'll give you a big number coming up here in just a little bit that I want to share with you after the first week.
Good.
But here it is. This is it. Healthwithjustin.com. Want to find out more? You can still join us. There's plenty of time to get in on the mission with us, and the movement continues. So many people have already joined us. You're going to see the results here. The numbers don't lie. Go check out the before and after pictures. The photos are incredible. But it's not just the photos. Yeah, you're going to look better. You're going to feel better. I think that's probably it. You're going to have more energy.
Yeah.
And I don't know, just little everyday things that I guess I don't know, that I sort of just take for granted. But you have energy that you wouldn't believe what's there. And here's the thing: whatever it is that you're doing, you have a calling. You have something that the Lord has put on you that you're supposed to do. And it doesn't matter whether it's your work or your family, most likely. Right. You're supposed to be doing it. And you got to be at your best when you do. So that's why I'm so excited to get back going again and get in the movement.
Yeah, well, real quick to what you say, most people don't. If you've had your car for 50 years and you know that you could give it a tune-up, and then you give it a tune-up, you're like, oh my gosh, Bessie's driving just like she used to be back in the day. Yeah, you forgot how good the car could ride. You forgot that the windows can work. You forgot the blinker can actually blink again. That's the same thing with your body. So anyways, let's go on. I get so excited about that. So sorry.
Well, you're absolutely right. And I think the thing that is so impressive about it, we're going to talk a little bit more about some of the new tech and the things that are happening right now, but just think about this. I mean, there are things that we didn't know about that we know now are having massive impacts on health. And we're going to talk about some of those stories today, and the learning and the change. And really, the MAHA movement has been really integral in just introducing some of this back into the scheme of things. But think about like 50 years ago, or even more. Some of these things felt impossible, but now you see the difference every day. A phone without a cord. I don't know about you, but I remember that long cord. You got to pull that cord through the kitchen and then all the way through. You want to go sit down and have a conversation in private. I had my house. So you go sit on the steps and have that conversation with the phone. There's no such thing as a phone without a cord. Now we take that for granted. Everybody's got them everywhere. They go everywhere with them.
Right.
And it's a lot more than being just a phone. A map that talks back, that's on your phone. A watch that checks your heartbeat, a picture of a baby before it's born. All of these things you never could have imagined. And now we have the actual answers of what's happening inside of our body at a cellular level. The reason why you've probably never been able to lose weight before in the past It's never been more obvious. It's never been more clear. They've cracked the code to this. And I'll get off my soapbox for now, but we'll talk more about it.
I get it. I get it. I know.
If you really want to learn more, you want to join us, you want to feel better again, you want to be able to do those things, healthwithjustin.com. Let's start with the WHO, because this is such a big story.
Huge.
I'm sure you've been paying attention to this, but the World Health Organization, remember the last 5 years, they wanted us to sign pandemic treaties. They were responsible for so much of how things ran during the pandemic.
Right.
To watch this all play out as Trump saying, we're going to get out of the World Health Organization. We're going to finally do this. This is something that the MAHA folks begged for. And it is incredible. I mean, it is a massive switch on the world stage.
Sure. I mean, if Trump would have pulled out from the WHO in his first term, there would have been so much backlash because there weren't enough people awake yet. I mean, people that haven't slid over into the Trump camp would have been just because it's basically he walked away from God, because the WHO was the gatekeeper to most everything that we're experiencing right now worldwide. And the world's watching us. The world's watching us. And so I'm telling you, there's a new sheriff in town, Justin. It's Trump.
You want to know who is behind the WHO? Well, there you have it right there. That's Tedros.
Yep.
He's the guy who's running the whole thing on the left, and who this guy is on the right, that's Xi Jinping, president of China. So all these crazy things that we were doing, just sort of, it was globalism, right?
Sure.
It was just us deciding that we're going to go ahead and give all this power, but also money. I mean, we give lots of money to these people at the WHO.
Oh, yeah. What did we read? They're not able to pay their bills now because we're not going to fund them anymore. I mean, they're in trouble, right? Financially. Didn't I read that?
Absolutely. I think the whole thing's going to come down. I mean, I think the whole thing is going to absolutely crumble because we were holding it up, and not anymore.
No.
By the way, speaking of Tedros, you want to hear him? He's having a meltdown. This is him at the world. I think this is the World Economic Forum the other day, and mad because President Trump pulled the plug on the funds.
WHO did not impose anything on anyone during the COVID-19 pandemic.
That's a lie. They did, and we all went along with it, and they wanted us to sign a treaty that said we'd go along with it in the future.
Not lockdowns, not mask mandates, not vaccine mandates. We don't have the power to do that. We don't want it, and we're not trying to get it.
He's outright lying. And the meltdown is incredible. I think, folks, you don't understand everything we fought over the last 5 years, and it's all been really fixed because of this. In fact, it's going to have greater consequences. I'll tell you another thing I'm watching right now. The transitioners, the people that are forcing transitions on your kids, and we'll just call it what it is, which is body mutilation and things of that nature. Now they've put out guidelines. I believe I saw this press release from some big organization of plastic surgeons who said, we're not going to perform these surgeries anymore on people unless they're 19 years or older. And this comes after a massive lawsuit that came down, and one of the former transitioners said, I can't believe I was not in the right state of mind. I can't believe they did this to me. Won a $2 million settlement. Should have been 100 times that. Right. But that was the first piece. This last week, this just came down. This is breaking news. That was the first piece to keep the ball rolling, because now that they see this is all going to crumble, these people that were doing these things to kids, whether it was the evil that they felt like they were compelled to do these evil things, or it was the money that motivated them. Now they will think twice about it. And I think the whole thing collapses because of the threat of the lawsuit. You do this to someone right now, come back 10, 20 years down the road, maybe even 5, they'll sue you. They can sue you, and you will be held accountable.
Good. I mean, yeah, I've been watching this. Boy, Justin, I tell you what, up to a couple of years ago, when we were seeing the people going into the libraries and the transvestite people, the people that are men that are dressed up as women and reading books in the library. I'm like, dear God, I mean, we don't have a chance. I'm like, we don't have a chance with everything else that I know about health. And now this is like, yeah. So I'm thank God that there are people in positions in power and people brave enough to stand up saying, I won't do this. I mean, granted, yeah, they don't want to probably lose their mansion on a hill because, they're making a lot of money. It was a cash cow. Those doctors that were doing these surgeries that was just another honeypot bucket. It was a honeypot bucket for these people. And it's just like, we saw, you go back all those years ago, and when they found, they thought it was a good idea to remove a brand new baby from the mom and put the baby over here in a separate room and have nurses tend to the child. We've learned that, man, no, we want to keep that umbilical cord on the child, put the baby on the mom, because there's all of this amazing chemistry that's taking place. What on God's green earth are they doing? I mean, the ramifications of the poor children that suffered through the Biden administration and all that they were doing to destroy everything. Gosh, I could go on a tangent with this, but I mean, thank God that these kids have a chance. And because I saw a video the other day of they went into places where these kids are nonverbal. They're in mental institutions, and they're showing videos of these kids that they can't talk. And the girl was like supposedly 20 years old and said she wanted to have a sex change. That girl couldn't talk. She was definitely in a bad way of life, but her boobs are chopped off and everything else. And I'm just like, sorry, I can go on a tangent on that.
It's so sad. The whole thing's heartbreaking because I think it's obvious. I think it's been obvious.
Yeah.
But just now, are we now starting to get like the real find out, accountability portion of this, which is the most important. And I know, look, folks are wondering every day, like, are things happening? Are they happening fast enough? But when you see stories like this, I think you start to realize how big of an impact they're actually having. And let's be honest, how big of an impact you've had as someone who's been involved in the movement. If you voted for Trump, if you were somebody who said, gosh, I'm a MAHA mom, I like what they're doing, I really like this idea of what RFK Jr. is going to be able to do and get into talk about. Just look at the things that they've been able to do. I've got to show you this. This is RFK Jr. talking about one of the vaccines. In fact, Missy sent this to me earlier today. Take a look. RFK Jr. on the polio vaccine. And
simian virus 40, SV40, it's one of the most carcinogenic materials that is known to man. In fact, it's used now by scientists around the world to induce tumors in rats and guinea pigs in labs. But it was in that vaccine. 98 million people who got that vaccine in my generation got it. And now you've had this explosion of soft tissue cancers in our generation that kill many, 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 many more people than polio ever did. So if you say to me that the polio vaccine was effective against polio, I'm going to say yes. And if you say to me, did it kill more people, did it cause more deaths than avert, I would say, I don't know, because we don't have the data on that. Here's the problem. The polio vaccine contained a virus called simian virus 40.
Now, this is something that I've known about because I've been paying attention. Yeah, I know you've known about this for years. But he's been ringing the alarm on it. Nobody would take these guys seriously until now.
Yeah. Well, yeah, because there's momentum happening. I mean, thank God for the people who saw the light years ago and stayed the course. I mean, and got the tomatoes thrown at them and, had their friends call them crazy. We did it. We're here. And now this is hitting mainstream. And what is happening is something that I try to explain to people. The drugs that are a drug has a chemical. The vaccines, there's chemicals inside of the vaccine. Those chemicals have one job only, and call that chemical a key. And that key is going to ride the bloodstream all throughout your body from head to toe as your blood vessels. That chemical is a key, and it's going in that body trying to find the lock because it's designed to find a lock. It's a key and it needs to find the lock. And a lot of times those locks, because it needs to bind to something, it needs to bind to it, it needs a key in the lock. What he's saying, a lot of those locks happen to be in the soft tissue. So there we are. And that leads us into, I mean, a chemical doesn't have a controllable GPS in it. I mean, you take that chemical and the chemical doesn't go like, oh, let me go right here to the heart. It's like, no, I'm trying to find that peptide. I'm trying to find that enzyme. I'm trying to find that piece of material. And all along the way, it's a little bit in your liver too. So then it stops at the liver and then and then it just keeps the signal because it just keeps signaling and targeting the thing that you didn't want to target. And eventually the bucket tips. Because it can only get hit and reactivate so many times before all of a sudden the body's like, there's something wrong here, something wrong here. It's a foreign invader. And then again, this is our body's a chemist. There's biology, there's chemistry going on, which is so crazy because I couldn't stand chemistry or biology or science in high school. I didn't even take a class in college, but you just have to apply some logic. You don't need to be a PhD at all. Just apply a little bit of logic and watch.
Yeah. It's absolutely right. Truth, logic, and common sense is what I like to call it.
Yep.
Another piece here on the MAHA Missy update. Everybody's talking about these GLP-1s. These are these miracle drugs that they're tough. Where do you think it comes from? And this is something that I've heard Dr. Artis talk about this before. And you sent me this today because I thought, this is really interesting. It kind of breaks down where they come from. How do they all of a sudden find out they could do what they're doing? Yep. And the ramifications of it may make you think twice about it when you're looking into this stuff in the future. Let's take a listen and watch this video from Dr. Artis here on TikTok. Stand by. Here we go, folks. Let me refresh him real quick. There's got to be a place. Where did he go? I can't hear him. I can't hear him now. Hey, Artis, speak up. Here's the mute button. Like I found it. Stand by. Here we go.
On Ozempic, Wegovy, Zepbound, Trulicity, Byetta, you name it. All of them have a black box warning that this Gila monster venom and the venom protein for those interested is called Exendin-4, EXENDIN-4. Black box warning is within 12 to 36 months, you will develop medullary thyroid cancers of all kinds. Oncologists around the world, after seeing my interviews about this drug being made from venom, have told me it's not thyroid cancers they're seeing in all their Ozempic patients. It's exploding breast cancer diagnoses in them.
Oh my gosh.
You're going to see every form of cancer from these drugs. FDA just added another warning that it causes gastroparesis. Do you know what that is? Paralyzed stomach for years, meaning you will vomit every day for the rest of your life. And there is a CNN article from last year says hundreds of thousands now have paralyzed stomachs that cannot be reversed for years after stopping Ozempic. Anybody with diabetes, this drug is promoted for diabetes. It is published. It worsens and speeds up diabetic retinopathy. Do you know what that is?
Wow.
You will be blind faster.
This is incredible. And I think like a lot of times when something comes out or a new drug comes out, especially if it's not a shot, like a vaccine that they're telling us to take. Now, Ozempic it's a shot. It's not billed as it's billed differently. It's almost billed like, it's like a pill you could pop kind of thing or whatever.
Sure. And it has to hit the bloodstream. Because the key inside that shot is designed to go find that lock. And in the Gila monster, I can break this down to you because it's fascinating and diabolical at the same time. Diabolical and also brilliant. Okay. So the Gila monster. So first of all, most people don't understand. I didn't know until I checked into this, but the Gila monster lives out in like the desert. Okay. And food is not, you can't find food very often. And so in God's infinite wisdom, he knows that the Gila monster is going to eat every 5 to 7, maybe 10 days. And so when it finally finds real food, not Hostess donuts, but not processed food, but real eggs, animals, and it's going to eat it, and it's going to fill up because it doesn't know when it's going to eat again. It's just going to scarf everything down. Well, then what happens is the stomach of this Gila lizard, because God's like, hey, I don't want my little lizard down there to be hungry all the time. I'm going to cause his stomach to process the food a lot slower, because we want them to feel full. So the stomach muscles, the stomach is just like, transitioning the food days upon days upon days. And then the colon finally gets involved, and then the colon is slow. And it's just like that. That's the Gila monster. Well, they took this Exceedin 4, they replicated it. They made a synthetic version of what's inside the Gila monster, and then they put it in mice. Well, in mice, their receptors, their little lockboxes happen to be in their thyroid. Well, it's not in the thyroid of the Gila monster, because it assimilates in the way it was designed to assimilate, the right way, not giving the Gila monster cancer. That's his survival mechanism, that chemical. Well, in the mice aren't lizards, and the receptors are found in the thyroid. Well, so we don't know where's the lockbox in us humans. Well, what it looks like the lockbox is in some of the breast tissue, in the brain, and the thyroid. And so again, did those in polio, did we stay away from polio? Yeah, but did we develop cancer in the soft tissue? Yeah. Okay. Did we get all these overweight people skinny? Sure did. Did we help type 2 diabetics come down a little bit in their blood sugars? Sure did. But you know what? I'm going to visit them in the grave now, because they died of cancer. So it's just like, you got to start pull this back and use common sense. This Exceedin 4 is going into the human body, and it's causing the stomach to slow down. Well, you're not a Gila monster, and I guarantee those people are eating 4 or 5 times a day, a little bit at a time. They're not hungry. From what I've heard, these people aren't hungry. Well, of course they're not. Their stomach's like basically not moving. And so then the stomach muscles and the stomach, the design of our body, all of a sudden it gets used to this new routine. It's like, okay, I guess I can't control it. I guess we're going to be doing this. And that is why people are having just insane problems in their digestive system, and their constipation, colon system. Some, like he said, aren't turning back on because the body forgot what it was supposed to do. It forgot. Yeah, I forgot. Oh, it's just so maddening. And again, it's easy. We are a world. America is all about convenience. We're all about, we want it now, want it now. What's the easiest way? I can afford that. I can work that into my budget, or better yet, my insurance covers it. And it's yeah.
You know what's interesting though? Like, you're talking about how they're not hungry, they're not eating, and I will be completely honest with you. Since I have been doing, and I started with a fast, not for like medical reasons or health reasons, but I started with a fast for spiritual reasons. Last Monday, or Sunday night into Monday, for our church, and we did 3 days. And I was kind of blown away. I don't think I've ever done a 3-day before. I've done like 1 day and things like that, but I was kind of blown away, like how easy it was. And at the end of the 3rd day, I was like, I think I could keep going.
Yeah.
I have a friend who said he turned his 3 into 7. I thought I was going to do, but I said, I'm going to start this program, which I did. I kicked in with a 3-day fast, and then I started my next phase. And that's actually been very, now I wouldn't recommend this necessarily to like a beginner, but for me, because I've done this before, it was very interesting, because it's made this phase, I'm more excited, I feel better, and I'm not hungry. Every now and then, I kind of have to make myself, okay, I need to eat, gotta get some protein in. But this is plan that I'm doing now, and I'm about to really give you the big numbers here, because this is what I'm trying. I'm just telling you can do this naturally,
right?
Something crazy.
God, the body is designed to work flawlessly. Yeah. When the metabolism is working, you're burning fat, because your body needs fat for energy. If your metabolism is broken, no energy. Yeah. Okay. Sorry. Go ahead.
What I just want to encourage people to is, like, make sure you talk to your doctor, or you talk to Missy, before you do anything, trusted healthcare provider. I always say that when we're talking about these things, but make sure you're doing what you need to be doing. Because the fast that I do, when I say fast, I still had caffeine, I had electrolytes,
Right.
and all the stuff that keep you going, and I felt great. But when I got on the program, again, this program, you're not eating anything that's like prepackaged. You're not, doing any crazy exercises or anything like that. But since I started all of this, I'm down almost 17 pounds right now. That's from last Monday, Sunday.
Mm-hmm.
And I feel incredible. I feel amazing. And like I said, I'm not starving. I'm not hungry. And the thing that happened in the fast, which has made this even more interesting and I think much easier to do. They talk about this in the GLP-1 world. They talk about food noise, calming the food noise, things like that.
Sure.
Fast really helped me do that because it took me from the place where I was hungry, and I wasn't really hungry, but I would think about something.
Sure.
Oh, this, or I should have that, or you know what, I'm gonna go by here and I'll do that. But I really noticed that like a lot of it was just my brain. This wasn't my stomach. I wasn't actually hungry. It was just my brain going, oh. And I'd say, shut up, brain. A lot of it is habit. And if you dig into habits and you go into like, this guy's written there's a couple of great books on habits out there right now. But what they'll tell you is it takes a couple of things to set a habit. And that's why your whole life really sets up on habits and systems, things that you do subconsciously don't even realize. And they're set by triggers. So the thing that triggers you, and it could be time, place, location, person, whatever the thing is, that or a feeling or whatever that triggers you and goes, okay, now it's time to eat. Like it's time to eat breakfast. It's time to eat lunch. It's time to eat dinner. Now I don't go off of that as much as, well, maybe I should do this right now. Maybe it's time I should do this right now. Cause I've got to make sure that I'm operating with certain parameters. I'm eating enough and I'm getting all the things that I need to get. But that really set my mind up for I think a totally different way. And I can't wait because we have big goals. I'm not going to say what they are, but we're already down almost 17 pounds in just the first week alone. And not everybody's going to have that result. Listen, I got 17 to go. Okay. My wife has already started. She don't have 17 to go. I don't know what her number is yet. We haven't talked about it, but she's already dropping and feeling great. And those are the things that are going to happen when you start to join the MAHA mission. If you want to do it, healthwithjustin.com, by the way. But Missy, I just want to present that for you because I thought it's given me interesting perspective. And I think, people need to know that you can do this naturally.
Absolutely. You just have to understand what controls the metabolism, because what people believe control the metabolism, I'm going to say 99.9% of you're wrong. Like wrong. And you're smart, you're educated. This is a paradigm shift.
We've been lied to.
You've been lied to. You've been sold down the river, and it's been for dozens and dozens of years. We all grew up believing it's food and exercise and food. I mean, that they're that like those two things and those two things alone. Oh, and hereditary, whatever. I mean, they're all baloney. What happens is that they've kept the message away from us to explain how does the body actually, what controls anything in the body? What controls anything besides metabolism? Well, it has to do with cells and cellular communication. Every single cell is functioning whether or not the frequency, the signal inside the cell is signaling. Because you can't, if I'm trying to call you Justin and the signal's not working and I'm only hearing another other word, we're not going to have a good conversation on the phone. The same thing, your cells are trying to have conversations. They're trying to send messages to every single thing in your body, telling it what to do. It's a symphony. It's a symphony of cells. And inside that symphony of cells are 2,800 individual cells that can be measured, that are signaling. And we can measure those signals to find out which signals stopped working and which signals stopped working. Because it's like, if I was and I do this with people all the time, if I'm talking, I'll say, if I started talking to you like this, you can't hear that. Or if I'm like, Charlie Brown teacher, can't hear that either. Can't understand it. You're going to fail the class. That's a bad signal to ramped up too high, ramped down too low. You need balance. And that's what we do. We're able to measure the body. It's brilliant. It's so cool. We measure the body. We do a body scan. It's a full body scan. We need to figure out what's broken and we fix it. And the results are exactly what Justin's going to have. It's normal. I mean, if you jumpstart the dead battery in your car and the car starts running again, you get to go to work. You didn't call that a miracle because you've been around jumper cables your whole life. You know what they do.
It really is incredible. And folks, I want to tell you, we're just beginning to start to scratch the surface on this. Like I just said, we're just getting started. I'd love to have you along for the ride with us. Lizzie's doing this, a couple other folks we know. And our good friend just wrapped up his month. I think he lost 25 pounds in a month.
He's on fire. He is just he is sounding off to everybody all over. He's got someone with cerebral palsy. He's like, can you help people with cerebral palsy? Can you this? Can you that? I mean, yeah, he's on fire.
You know, the thing about him too is when he first started, he was kind of skeptical, and I'm fine with that. I think you should be. You should test the waters on everything. Yeah, what's this all about? And then he got in, and he saw the results, and he's kind of turned into that evangelist. It's kind of crazy.
Yeah, that's basically what's happened with. That's what happens with most people when the light bulb goes on, the paradigm shifts, and you see if you're in the MAHA movement, MAGA, whatever. The veil's being lifted and people are waking up, and it's so exciting to be here. And yeah, I mean, call us. It's a conversation. People get me on the phone. They're like, oh, you do sound like the same person when I see you. Or because if I'm either on Gruber's TV show, Truckers on radio, you right here, I'm like, I don't bite, and you're not going to have a credit card with me at the end of the phone call. It's not one of those. It's a conversation. I just thoroughly enjoy explaining what we do to help people figure out what's wrong, because hear me when I say this, it is not your fault you can't lose weight. And I will prove it to you in the phone call. I will 100% prove it to you.
269-964-4044. Call Missy and the crew, Charity and the gals. They're gonna set you up. The team they want to hear from you, and they're ready to help you. They love doing this. This is what lights them up, by the way.
Oh, yeah.
This is their mission. They've cracked the code, and they want to help you. Again, 269-964-4044, or go to healthwithjustin.com. I just put it in the chat for folks, healthwithjustin.com. Click on it, schedule your call, and just have that conversation. If you enjoy talking about this stuff, Missy would love to walk you through it and make sure that you get to where you want to go. This is how you do it. And by the way, where we're going this year is going to be incredible. We got big plans. I cannot wait to see it all unfold, and I want to thank you for helping us get there.
Absolutely. God bless. God bless, Patriots. Hold the line. Stay the line. Be that little boy. Don't give up.
Absolutely.
God's got us.
Oh, man. Isn't that the truth? All right. Another MAHA Missy update coming at you next week. In the meantime, take a great day. And, of course, listen, God bless. We appreciate you.